Today, I'm going to help you all with a short experience which you have to have with 10th standard English question paper. This 10th standard English question paper is going to have 1 to 47 questions. And in that question, you must be able to understand which question, how to write it down. How to be easy to understand at the last moment. So I'm just recapping everything. Okay, children? Okay? Right. Now see, from 1 to 14, you will have 1 mark questions which carries of lot of grammar in it and lot of systems, synonyms, antonyms, prefix, suffix, also many questions like that. You know all that. If you have already prepared for it, you will get 1 to 14 numbers, marks. But suppose if you have not got prepared, then there will be some problem in you. You cannot do that. So what you can do is, you can just be clear what you have studied. Suppose, if something which is new, don't get panic. Be very clear. Okay, God, please help me. Try, think. If you can't get the answers, don't worry. At least you do some inky, pinky, ponky and finish it off. Okay? That's good. And now we'll go with the 15th to 18th question is 2 marks questions. So in the 2 marks questions, you will get short questions which has to be answered in just 2 lines. That's enough. 2 lines. But the exact key point of the question's answer. See, suppose one question. Let me give you an idea. Why did young seagull fail to fly? That's one of the questions. So the answer is nothing but fear. That's the only answer. So you can write now why. When you have why, you can write because. Why did? So you leave those 2 and from there you write everything. Leaving this question mark, you can write because. Why? Because of fear. That's it. So even if you write it in a sentence or if you write fear, that's okay. If you write it in a sentence, you will get the full mark. If you write fear, suppose the teacher is very gracious, she will give you 2 marks. Okay? But anyway, you have to write it in a sentence. So 2 marks questions carries a short answer in just 2 lines. Okay, children? The next one. We'll go to 19 to 22, which is poem question and answer. This is very, very easy, of course, because you have 2 lines and you have a question over here. And when you see this question, some of the lines, some of the words might be in the question itself. So you can just go to the question and see the words and match it off to the sentence and you can write it. This is just a technique, but you have to write the right answer. If you're writing the right answer to the question, you will get score 2. Or else, suppose if you find this technique to write it down, maybe you might get 1 or 1.5. Just doing this technique, you can get through that question. Now let's go with the next question, which is 23 to 27. You will have 4 types of questions, which is direct to indirect and also active and passive. The next question will be like punctuation. The next question will be rearrange the order of the words. So the words will be jumbled and you have to write it in the proper sentence. So this is what the question is. So in this, if you know well, if you're so good in grammar, you can do it well. Or else I'll just give you some techniques which will be easier for you so that you may not panic. Number 1, it might be like direct to indirect. So when it is direct to indirect, you can have the questions like this. I say to you. I say to you. Don't panic. That's the question. The answer is, teacher told the students not to panic. That's the right answer. Suppose if you don't know how to write a direct and indirect question, don't worry. Just go ahead with the quotations you will be having. Just remove those quotations. And if you remove those, where you start removing, put one that over there and just write them there. The gracious teacher will give you at least one score for that. So I think you will understand that. The next one is active and passive voice. The active and passive voice is something where which one person does and it is said as it is done. So the subject and the object are very important in that. The subject will become the object will become the subject. I see the paper. That's the question. The paper is seen by me. That's the right answer. So suppose if you don't know that, it's okay. It's okay. Try your best to write the right answer. Suppose if you can't write the answer, there is a technique. What is that technique? The first word, I, is subject. Write this down here and the paper is here. You write that paper here. So you have to just interchange the subject and the object. I believe you understand. So if you do that, you will get, of course, by the gracious teacher, 1 mark at least. So let's go with the next one. Punctuation. Punctuation, you should have to know about full stop, finished, comma. There's some more. Full stop and a comma, semicolon. Stop, but still I wanted to continue something. So these kind of things which you have to understand, those punctuation marks, so that you will able to write the right answer for that punctuation marks. Okay, suppose if you don't know that, don't worry about it. Just to have this technique. What is the technique? See, the first letter has to be bigger one. The last word has to complete with a full stop. Then if there is some name inside the sentence, that has to carry the capital word. That's it. And this is also like arranging. What is this arranging? This arranging is not the word which I told you already. This is something like many words are put in one sentence and you have to make that sentence proper sentence. Okay? Then we'll go with the 28th of the question, which is roadmap. That roadmap is nothing but you need to know the words of the mapping, words which is right, left and all that. If you know that and if you know the direction and if you see that question paper, keep it in front of you and try to be in the place where you are and try to redirect yourself and you can write down how it goes off. Suppose if you don't know that, it's okay. It's okay. There are some techniques. You need to know just 8 words. Those 8 words are right, left, turn, go, straight, you, reach, avoid. These words. So with these words, you can just try yourself to put yourself in the place of the place where you are standing and where is the destination. So this is what is 28. Let's go with the 29th to 32. That is 5 marks questions, which is a paragraph question. So what you have to do is, you have to write at least 5 solid points of those questions to get 5 marks. Suppose if you don't know anything, don't worry about it. Just think what you can do and think about the young seagull. For example, I'm just telling you young seagull. It is not only the young seagull. You have 7 lessons. So you have to see what is the question, which lesson is that, and try to do it well. So suppose if you come across young seagull, it's nothing but just young seagull is very young, unable to fly, tried to fly, couldn't fly because of fear. If you know 2 marks answers, you can put all that and pile up in one sentence and you can write it for 5 sentences. At least you can do that. Or else, whatever you know about young seagull, whatever the English comes, try your best to write it down. Don't worry about it. Suppose if you don't know that, what is in your mind, you can just write it down. Don't panic. Okay, children? Will you panic, children? No, no need to panic. So it's good if you could sit and study at least 5 sentences from 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. Because you're going to get 4 questions and you have chance of doing only 2. So out of 4, you can write 2. So if you want to write those 2 correctly, you can just practice 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. Or else, go to the question papers. Already given question papers. Everything pile up together and you find out which are the questions which is repeated again and again in every examination. Then you can find out those important questions and you can write it down. I have given you all those important questions. Now let's go with the next thing, which is 33 to 36, which is going to be like 4 questions, which will carry 2 questions of poem questions. Suppose if you can write the answers for the paragraph, it's okay. If you couldn't write the answer for the paragraph, then just write down the poem itself. That's it. Or else, there is only 2 you have to attend out of 4. So what you can do, rhyming words. It's very easy for you. Rhyming words is nothing but the last word. So the last sound of the words. Fear, cheer. Go, no. These kind of words are the rhyming words. So how will you write the rhyming scheme? Rhyming scheme is go, A, fear, B, no is again A, and your cheer is again B. So you can write A, B, A, B. It's according to the sound of the last word. Let's go with the next one. Alliteration, nothing but in a sentence. You will have one word starting with A and the same sentence will have some other word somewhere with A starting. So those 2 words, write it down and underline the letter. Then what is figure of speech? The poet must have given you in a way a different idea. He has in his mind and he must have practiced all that. So those are called like metaphor. Can you say that, everybody? What are the figure of speeches? Metaphor, alliteration, simile, personification. Very good. Imagery. Anything else? Epithet, wonderful. Couplet. Then anything else? Consonants, assonance, lot of things are over there. Okay, so you can try all that, but you have to have an idea about those words and the picture of the wording. Spelling is important. Then the next one is paraphrase. What is paraphrase? Paraphrase is nothing but there will be a 4 lines of poetry. You have to write it as a phrase. It's just a poem. You have to write it as a paragraph. So you can write if you know that. Suppose if you don't know, don't get panic. Just write what the poet says. Poet says what he says. In that 4 lines he says something. So write those 4 lines in a paragraph. If you know the meaning of it, you write the meaning. If you don't know the meaning, just write the same words in a paragraph. Finished. And what the poet says, the poem also has something. So next thing, poem has. What does it has? Every poem will have rhyming words. And what are the other things will have? Rhyming scheme, figure of speech, alliteration, rhyming words. So these kind of things you will have. Suppose, even if you don't know that. Yeah, sure. So suppose if you don't know that, what you can do, just go to question number 35. So you will have all those words listed in the question itself. So you just go pick it up. Those rhyming words, rhyming scheme, second, then figure of speech, then alliteration, right, finished. So you'll get easily 5 score because you have the technique. If you don't have the technique, then you try your best. If you don't know the words, then you try the technique. Okay? Right, wonderful. Let's go with the next one. These are the 2 questions, which is only one has to be answered. So the one question is arranging. Now already we have arranged the words. Now we have to arrange the full, maybe the story or maybe the picture or something like that. So there will be maybe like 10 lines will be given. it is about the story which is in your supplementary reader. So what you have to do, find out which one will come in the beginning and which will be the next one. So you try to just put them in an order. That's what it is. So instead of that, if you feel like it is very hard, then you go through everything. You study well. If you couldn't do that, then it's okay. Go with the passage. Passage is nothing but there will be a set of words and there will be 5 questions or 4 questions. Those 5 questions, as you did in the poem, the same way you can do it here. The same thing I can even go with this 47th also the same time. See, 38 is passage and 47 is also the passage. So these two has a paragraph. In that paragraph, you have some questions. So those questions, see the questions, see the words, go, see where it is in the passage, locate it, see the starting till the full stop end. So that is your right answer. That's a technique actually. But still you have to read the passage, you have to understand the question, you have to understand and write the right answer. That's the question actually, you have to do it well. So this question carries 5 marks and this question carries 8 marks. So together you have in your hands 13 marks without studying. There is no need for you to study and all, but if you study well, you will do the exact one, you will get the 13 marks altogether. Now here, 39 to 43, you have 4 choices you can write. The 39th is an advertisement. Advertisement is nothing but it is about a particular product and there will be questions about the product and you see the question. What is in the question? See what kind of a product is that. Take that product and draw some pictures with some bigger, broad, one broad line, you complete it, border lines. Then you can have one arc and in that you can write down the exactly, if it is something which is mobile galaxy about, you write mobile galaxy. You can give name of yours, whatever you wanted, or else what is the name given in that? They would have given you Galaxy Shop. So they must have given you. If they give you, you have to write that only. So after writing it, you pick out all the words from the question, put it here and there. Then you have to add on very beautifully something, which is, you can just put one like this, so that there will be a star. Inside the star, you write it, get one, buy one, get one free. Discount, 20% off. These kind of things you can write it down. The next thing what you can do is, that is one thing. The next thing is you have to do some pictures. Then after that, you must have a column underneath. In that column, you should have some at least 4. What is that? First, some WhatsApp number. The number shouldn't be so clear. It has to be hidden by X. So all the 10 numbers or with the code 9198405 dash into 6233, something else like that. So you should have a phone number and you should have a street name and the door number of the shop. That is number 2. And the third one is you should have a www.mobilegalaxy.com. What you write on the top, the thing Mobile Galaxy can come in www.mobilegalaxy.com. And again at the downstairs you can write like Mobile Galaxy at gmail.com. So all this will help you to get all the 5 score and draw in something which is neatly and legibly so that you can get 5 score. So this one is letter. You have to see 2. You must see the word 2. Go find out where is 2. And after that is the person whom you have to address to. So address in proper way, and after that you also have to complete it according to the need of the question. The question would have been like, no, it's very noisy, kindly come and arrange in our place, something else like that. So whatever it is given there, just grab those words and just write it there. That's it, finished. So from you and to where it is given already, think about it and write which one you have to write. If it is something with a police station, then you have to write police officer, K243 something police station, and Navaram or Ambatu, something like that, and Chennai or something, whatever you want to write. So maybe the address would have been given in the question itself. Okay, you can see that also. The next thing, notice. Notice is nothing but in any place, no, there will be notice board outside. So the notice board has like this, and that is notice board, and you have to write which school or which place or whatever it might be. Then what is the celebration? School or the place? In the celebration, then down. Nothing else. No, there is no need for you to write more. This is to inform you that the heading is conducted this place on this day at this time. Down, just write your name or the head of the head pupil or somebody who is given in the question paper. See the question paper. Then notes. Notes is nothing but you have to write something which you have to understand, and you have to write notes about that particular thing. So what you have to do is think about it and write something, write some notes. And if you feel like it's so not so good, then strike it out, write it rough copy. Then you make it shorter and put it underneath, and you write it fair copy. And then you can write the words in the passage and the words in the summary. Then you can finish it off. Otherwise, it's very easy. Suppose if you can't do that, don't worry about it. Just go ahead, try to complete it with just 2-3 letters in all will be over there. Just pick it up all that, avoid them, and try to have some hyphens in between so that you can finish it and you can get 5 score. And we have to go with a picture. So any picture has a lot of things to say to you. So picture paints a lot of words. So what is in your mind? You can write it anything, but anyway, if you put it in the wrong grammar, your marks will score down. Because if you know to write it properly, it's okay. But if you write it many sentences, but all the sentence has some grammar mistake, you will not get 5 score. So it's better to have one particular idea which is very easy. Suppose if you can write it, it's okay. But if you can't write it, just do it like this. I like this picture. That's a beautiful sentence. The picture is real. Of course. The picture is nice. Anyone will say that because it says something. The picture is thoughtful. The picture is meaningful. All these are beautiful sentences for any picture, whatever the picture might be. But please don't write it's very colorful, because it will not be colorful. So if you write those kind of things, it is controversy for what the question is given. So don't do that. Then the errors, 44, spotting the errors. The sentence will be over there, but there will be some of the mistakes inside that. So for example, I prefer coffee than tea. So instead of than, you can write to. So I prefer coffee to tea. That's it. So that kind of mistakes you can correct it, but there is no need for you to go ahead with that because you have other questions. Next, you can go with the 45. 45 is a poem you have to study well. At least study the first 5 lines of the poems, all the 4 poems. You have to study all the lines which is given in the memory poem. You have to do it well because those memories are going to be the question for you. So what you have to do is write from your memory, quote from your memory, from the line which has started and from the line which is end, from the word or the sentence which has to be. But still, suppose if you don't know the question, if you don't know the answer, don't worry. Don't worry. Just try to recall whatever you know about that poem, not the other poems. There are 4 poems. So which poem you know? What sentence you know? Just write it down at least. You just present yourself something at least. You have to write the exact answer. If you can't write the answer, it's okay. But at least you write the related sentences of that poem. Then we'll go with the hints. This hints is nothing but already in notes you will have some hyphen marks. But here, no, here you will not have hyphen marks, but here you will have hyphen marks. So those hyphen marks has to be, thank you dear, thank you so much. So those hyphen marks will be given to you in the hints, not in the notes. So in the notes you have to make hyphen, but in the hints you have to remove the hyphens. That's it. Okay. So I think you can understand. Otherwise, the true answer for this is you have to study from the supplementary reader. Supplementary reader passage is hints. You have to read a paragraph and you have to write it here. Then already I have told you about the 47th question. So I believe children you all understand. Do you all understand children? Yes. Promise? Yes. Can you do well? Yes. Excellent? Yes. You understood every word, every question? Yes. Thank you so much. I want you to be very successful in your examination. All the best.